So today is the Kentucky Derby, and so a little quick recap. Yesterday I made a video. I did the pick three, and the Oaks and Daily Double. So still in contention for the pick three, which is the Kentucky Oaks, the Turf Classic, and the Kentucky Derby. I'm not in line for the Oaks and Derby daily double, or I did a $20 straight on the pick three for the Oaks Turf Classic and Kentucky Derby. So the ticket that that's still good at the moment. I'm still in play, I should say, is the pick three. So so that was three horses in each leg. That was like $27. I did $10 on the daily double for the Oaks and Derby, and it did a $20 straight for the pick three. So that was $57. So at the moment right now, my $27 pick three is still in play. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bet on the Derby, but I'm going to do the kind of a special pick three. It's going to be the 3-year-old pick three. And as I'm making this video, things have changed in terms of the track conditions. It's now regarded as sloppy. So a couple of horses that I thought about picking, I decided not to do on this first leg, which is race 6, the Pat Mile Stakes, which used to be the Derby Trial Stakes. So what I'm going to do in this 3-year-old pick three is I'm going to be more aggressive. Today I'm going to be more aggressive in my bets. Um, in the pick three yesterday, I did the 3 horses in each leg. I'm going to do 4 horses in each leg uh, because I didn't lose as much yesterday. Last year, I was very hesitant on my bet on Derby Day because on Oaks Day, I lost more than I anticipated. So I was very hesitant on my bets on my undercards, and it had an effect. So today is going to be a more aggressive day. The first horse I'm going to pick is number 2, Built. Um, in the early of the year, he was a dark horse of mine for a Kentucky Derby contender. Um, at the moment, though, he hasn't won any race this year. So his connection has put him into the mile state and the Pat Mile Stakes. And I mentioned that the track is currently sloppy, so I underlined his sloppy form, and he came in second. Um, Even though that the track is sloppy, he was one of my original horses that I was going to pick on this first leg of the 3-year-old pick three. The second horse I'm going to pick is California Burrito. Um, you notice the question mark because I was going back and forth with this horse, regardless what the track conditions was going to be. So at the end, I decided last night to pick him, and that was even before I found out the track is currently sloppy. But looking at his track form, he's ran twice at Churchill Downs, and he's run first and second. And the fact his when he did win his race as in Churchill Downs, it was on a sloppy track. So I noted also that April 13th and 20th he had pretty good workouts. The third horse on this first leg of the 3-year-old pick three is Gate to Wire. Um, since the Pat Mile is a one-turn race, his form in the Swale, he won that race, was in 7 furlongs. So this is not a traditional like a 2-turn mile race. It's a 1-turn mile race, and I think his form could carry over, based off the Swale. So that's why. And also the trainer Todd Pletcher is known to have noted he does well when he spaces out. So this horse last ran in March. So I'm thinking, based off hoping that he does run well in this race. Oh, so number 6 is one of the horse I thought about picking before I found out the track was sloppy. It was gaming, um, because heading in last year to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, He was in contention to be a possible champion 2-year-old. He lost that race, but ever since losing that race, he hasn't won. So I thought, okay, maybe that um, he could have opportunity to maybe bounce back. It looks like from his last race, but because of its sloppy and his form ever since his 2-year-old, I decided to take him out of this leg. So the very last minute, I decided to take out gaming, and I put Innovator. Now, the trainer last year won the Pat Mile Stakes with Caesar Gray, who 2 weeks later won the Preakness. So at first I was like going back and forth. I was like, okay, maybe the same trainer, and I'll just like, it's gambling. Let's think about it. Run with it. Like throw in the dice. But I did take him out. And then when I found out it was sloppy, I decided to put back in because I'm looking at his form, his off track form. When it's muddy, he's finished first, and when it's sloppy, he's finished third. And he's a horse that Wayne Lucas said that he's probably going to set up the speed. He thinks this horse could be more of a 6 furlongs horse than a mile horse. But with a 1 turn mile and in the fact that this track is sloppy, I am going to include him in my first leg of the pick 3. So the second leg of the 3-year-old pick 3 is race 9, is American Turf Classic. Last year this was a grade 2 race. This year's a grade 1 race. So this, when I mentioned about being aggressive, last year there was a horse, Trickery, and the horse, the day before the Derby, I wrote notes and I was planning to go all across the board on this horse, like $25 across the board. At Golden Gate Fields, I was helping this young lad who, in terms of betting, and he bet on Trickery, who was running at a different race, I think at Gulfstream at the time, in the spring of 2024. And so the day before the Derby, I was thinking about putting Trickery, placing the bet like maybe a $25 across the board. And at the very last moment, I decided, I chickened out. I'll be honest. I saw the odds of 46-1. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna waste $75. Well, that $75 was wasted not placing the bet because he won the race, Trickery, at 46-1. So there's a horse there that reminds me of Trickery, and actually he's in one of my legs. So I'll mention more about him. And so the first horse I'm going to use is Scipio, and in the second leg. I noted that prior to his last race, which he ran second, he ran first twice, and the Transylvania could be a key prep race because there's several horses in that race who are running here. So in terms of this leg, I'm basing it off the Transylvania Stakes, and Scipio is one of the horses. The second horse I'm going to use is Test Score, who actually won the Transylvania Stakes. And this trainer last year, Graham Motion, he actually trained Trickery. He's not the horse that reminds me of Trickery, but there is a connection to him. So since he won the Transylvania, and I think that this could be a key race for the American Turf, I am picking Test Score in my second leg of the 3-year-old pick 3. And the third horse I'm going to pick is the number 7 Zulu Kingdom. I mean, when it comes to grass races, you cannot leave out Chad Brown, the preeminent grass trainer in America. So that's why I picked him, because of his trainer. And I've noted some things in the daily racing form about more information that that the trainer has an excellent has an excellent record. And yeah, he's won actually 4 or 5 starts too. So I think that he's a horse that's going to be a major improve. So I mentioned Trickery, last year's winner of the of this race. So Trickery's pedigree is he was a son of Oscar Performance, who is a son of Kitten's Joy. And Trickery's broodmare sire is a male line descendant of Stormcat. So when I was looking over this race, I was looking who could be my Trickery. I'll be honest. I was looking based on the pedigree. I was hoping to see if there was any Oscar performance horses running here, but there is a Kitten's Joy horse in this field, and there's also a horse whose broodmare sire is a son of Stormcat. And so, and the fact that he ran in the Transylvania Stakes at third, Maui Strong, is one of the reasons I'm picking him in my pick in this third leg, in the second leg of the all three. I'll pick three. I'm not gonna make the same mistake in Trickery. I'm gonna put $25 across the board on this horse. If I lose $75, I lose $75. But if there's an opportunity that he comes, let's say top three, I think with his odds at the current line of 30-1, I'm going to take advantage of this. I made a mistake last year at Golden Gate Fields. I'm not going to make the same mistake. What's $75? So it's not like I'm putting $7,500 or $75,000 on the bet. I'm just going to put $75, $25 across the board, win, place, and show. So that when it comes to a little tip, when it comes to long shots, if you think there's a good long shot that you like to play, go across the board, win, place, and show. Finishes top three. You're going to get it. You're going to make profit. You're not going to even break even. So that's a bet. If you feel like advice, if you feel like there's a long shot, go across the board, because you're gonna make profit on that horse if it comes the top three. So last is the last leg is the Kentucky Derby, the main event, and also the last leg of the 3-year-old pick three. I had three horses from yesterday's pick three, and I'm going to keep them. I was gonna take away one of them, but I decided to keep all three because it's like the worst part is if I take out one of those horses, and let's say that one of the horses actually ends up winning the race, well, I screwed myself over from the pick three I made yesterday. So I'm gonna keep the same horses I picked yesterday, but I'm gonna add an additional one. First is the number 8 horse, Journalism. If I was going to place a Kentucky Derby bet win, this would be my horse to win. You're looking at his form right now. I mean, he ran at the Lost Fraternity last year, which used to be the Hollywood Fraternity. He won that race. He won the San Felipe, and he won the Santa Anita Derby this year. And in both cases, the San Felipe and Santa Anita Derby, I bet against him. I bet on Barnes. But Journalism, each time I bet against him, he's won. And that also includes the Los Alamitos Fraternity. So if I was going to place a win bet, I would place it on this horse, Journalism. At the moment, he's 3-1. That's not bad of a morning line odds. And given the conditions, it's sloppy. I could see him, still being 3-1, maybe even 5-2. But I think at 3-1, that's a pretty good odds for a favorite to play. So if I was gonna play a horse to win, it would be Journalism. One of the three horses that I picked yesterday in my pick three for the last leg of the Kentucky Derby was Render Judgment. I was gonna consider taking him out this morning, but I decided to keep him because of last year his trainer Kenneth McPeak won on Mystic Dan. So Mystic Dan prior to the Kentucky Derby had won 2 races. Render Judgment so far only has one race. So in terms of, let's say, race record, they're similar. And the fact that he has Kenneth McPeak as a trainer is another bonus. But also, pedigree is the main thing, too. Blame won the Breeders' Cup Classic at a mile and a quarter at Churchill Downs. And the broodmare sire for Render Judgment, a commissioner, I bet him in the Belmont Stakes. when California Chrome was trying to on pace to trying to clinch the Triple Crown for the Belmont Stakes. I bet Commissioner to win. He ended up winning second, and his odds was 25-1. And Commissioner is a son of AP Indy. So when you look at the pedigree, Blame who won a Grade 1 mile-and-a-quarter race, and then you have Commissioner who ran second in a mile-and-a-half race. This horse has more than enough in terms of his pedigree, and with the trainer of Kenneth McPete and his form in terms of race record similar to Mystic Dan, I'm still going to keep him in my pick 3. The new horse I'm going to pick is on this last leg is going to be Sovereignty. So I underline couple things. One is his broodmare sire, Bernardini, who was a champion. He's a son of AP Indy, and he's himself is a champion broodmare sire. If you look at his form this year, it's he's won one. He ran second, and in the Florida Derby, he's a stretch runner who came who didn't win, but he was coming on the end. And this race appears to be set up with a lot of speed. And since this is a come from behind horse, I decided to keep him. The concern is if the track is still sloppy, that usually come from behind horses don't do well because they don't like the mud in their faces. But given the fact that he's the second choice right now, I don't want to leave him out of my pick 3. So yesterday I picked Rodriguez in my pick 3 for the last leg of the pick 3, but he got scratched. And at the end, I decided to pick Bieza. I mean, this is a horse whose half brother is Mage, who won the Kentucky Derby, and Dornoch, who won the Belmont Stakes last year. I was not gonna. If I had the opportunity to bet Bieza, I'm betting him. And so since there's also a Preakness future bet, this is going to be my Preakness future bet is Bieza. So I am including Bieza in. I included him yesterday in my pick 3 at the last minute, and he's going to be in my pick 3 again for the all 3 pick 3. And he also, if it's still available, I think it still is. I'm going to bet him for the Preakness future bet. I think at the moment his odds is 12-1. So depending on how his form is, he might run in that race. So if I can get him at 12-1 for the Preakness future bet, I'll bet on him. But yeah, he's my last horse in the all 3 pick 3. So there you go. Those are my choices. My long shot of the day is Maui Ocean in the American Turf, and I'm rooting for journalism to win. But we'll see. I'm not sure if I'll place some money on him, but I am rooting him to win. So yeah, the saying goes, I have a favorite saying, you bet small to win big, and good luck to everybody at the racetrack. And this time last year I was at Golden Gate Fields, and unfortunately it's closed, so I'll be at San Mateo at the Jockey Club. But yeah, just have a good time, everybody, and while you make a bet, have some sip on some julep.